We're live. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Getting my phone set up because the iPad has been malfunctioning lately. Hi, welcome to Intermediate Hula. We are here in week 1 of Kini. So if you're new to the hula class, then fantastic. You're coming in at a good time because we're starting new choreography today. At least it's new to most of the students here. Some of you may have learned this. If you took classes with me in Los Angeles, then some of you may have learned this. Sorry, Lincoln's already joining in with us today. But welcome. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. Thank you for being here. We will get started with our normal things that we like to say. Don't forget to listen to your body while you're dancing. I'm not there to correct you, so I'm relying on you to listen to yourself. Make sure you're warming up properly. Make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you get a good stretch. Just listen. And, as a lot of us who have danced hula for a while know, there's kind of a misconception about hula that it's easy or that it's not physically, taxing on your body. And that, of course, is not true. It's dancing just like everything else. And you want to take care of your knees and your lower back, all that kind of stuff. These classes go through the LA Belly Dance Academy. So if you'd like to check out more of those classes, then go to the website, labellydanceacademy.com, and check out what other things they have to offer. You can get a membership where there are classes behind, like if you get access to the other classes that are posted in the site, belly dance classes and dance technique and all kinds of cool stuff. The teachers are all fantastic. I've known them for a long time and love them. And if you want to make a donation for these free classes, you can do that here. They make it really easy to do that. So let me know if you need info. Cat for everywhere. Yeah. Okay. If you have another hula teacher, make sure you've got their permission. Also, I want to let you all know about a workshop that's coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, United States, Saturday and Sunday. So that is Sunday, Monday for people in New Zealand. Manu Boyd is having a 2-day workshop. It's 3 hours each day, and he's going to teach a hula, and Kaui Deliri is going to be like the demonstrator, former Miss Aloha Hula and wonderful all around kumu hula herself. Manu Boyd, if you know him, he is one of the most well-known people in our hula community, a really amazing kumu hula, and also incredibly knowledgeable, speaks Olelo fluently, and he really takes you through the hulas that he's teaching, and he's just a really fantastic guy. So anytime you have the opportunity to learn from folks like this, you want to jump on it, especially right now when in this day and age, we have to find the things to be grateful for. And one of those things is that we might not have access to like a 2-day workshop, 3 hours a day with Manu Boyd. Anybody in the world can take this workshop. That's amazing. So I'm going to post information about it in the Facebook page, and you can email, I think it's info@ikumuhula.com, which is Kaui Deliri's site, which you should check out. And yeah, it's going to be great. So keep that in mind if you want to do it. I'll send you the info to inquire about cost and things like that, because it does cost, but well worth it. Yes, so that's that. Again, if you are not on the Kekukui Ho'onoa live stream Facebook group, there's the link over there in the chat, and you can jump on there and ask questions or anything, participate in that group. Send me a request if you're not in it yet. And then also I've got the Google Drive folder link posted on the side there. So if you have any questions during class, please don't hesitate to ask, because I can see the chat today. All right, so we're going to start our warm-up. Ready? We're going to start with our big round amis, feet nice and wide apart. Don't forget, when our feet come in together, you want them to be less than shoulder width apart, but your feet are not together, okay? Your feet are not like this. They're like this, a little bit less than shoulder width apart. Stay nice and low in your knees so you feel balanced, low to the ground, all that good stuff. And here we go. Oh no, not the ringer. Come on. Oh wait, hold on. This is off to a good start. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, ready? Rolling tempo, here we go. Back up. Back 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Run away. Switch. Back 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Switch. Down. Back 1, 2. Double time. 1, 2, 1, 2. Back 1, 2. 1, 2. Switch. 1, 2. Good. And switch. 4. And switch. Big circles. Keep believing. Shoulders still. Switch and drop lower. Back 1, 2. Good. Remember, you're keeping. Switch. Back 1, 2. 1, 2. Stay low in your knees. Push your knees back and forth. And switch. Switch. Let's do 4 then 20. 1, 2, 4. 3. 1, 2, 3. And switch again. 4 here. 1, 2, 3. Now what do you? 1, 2. Good. Let's switch and let's do 4 booty on each side. Go. 1, 2, 3. And other way. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Good. Switch. 2 up, 2 down. 1, 2, and drop. 1, 2, and up. 1, 2, drop. And switch. And drop. 1, 2, and up. And drop. Switch. And drop. And up. Switch. And drop. Good. Relax the shoulders. Roll. Let's stretch. Remember, this is your time to stretch, so feel free to moderate these any way that you want to. Up on your toes, feet up. Good. Up and down into squat. Feet up. Down. Reach and down. Hold here, reach up. Push, 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 push. And down. Hold here. Up and over. Hold here. And side to side. All the way down. And over to one side. And turn your feet this way. And remember to drop this heel back here so you're stretching this calf. Whoa. Now when I wake up and see the morning sunshine, paint that picture of perfection. It's you so sublime. Oh, I wanna hold your body close and feel your skin next to mine. Oh, I take just a little more time. The front and down. Your little kisses like wine. We got under like oh my kalani, my vanilla. That's so divine. We got under like hands up. My down. That's so divine. We got under and back up to the center. Take a joyride. I'ma go up on the east side. I take you to a place where the sun shines. Where you can plant the stone and you realize that the beginning is out there. Down in the valley. My B.O.S. it is the Bombay. My native people living happy. No fuss, confusion, and no worry. I need no money, I'm living is free. Love do you live like in the market? Haven't been there yet, and yet you must see. You love it, what do you valley? The most spectacular and scenery. Everywhere you look, I feel a greenery. From mountains, arrows, and droplets and sea. Cause I must that you come follow me. Follow me, follow me, follow me. I promise you get the tension outside of the world. Let's turn balance. Alright, back to center. Up. And then you roll nice and slow. Good. Shoulders. Alright, short hala girl. Ready? Bring your feet in. Again, a little less than shoulder width apart, nice and straight. We're gonna bend nice and low, so you got that range of motion. And go. Right. Check your feet are flat on the floor. Check your shoulders are nice and still. Your hands out. And stretch. Stretching. Go ahead, I don't want you to stop. So keep doing this even when I stop. Keep going. I want you to check it with your hands. Make sure your hands are flat. We're stretching the center of our hands here. That's all we want to do. Stretch, relax. Stretch, relax. See how my arm is nice and long here? Keep it up high. Push those elbows up. Stretch, relax. That's all we're doing. Don't make it any more fancy than that. None of this. None of that stuff. I just want to stretch, relax. Make sure your thumbs alongside your hand. Make sure your fingers are together. Stretch, relax. And check it with your hala. Push it right. Relax. Good. Keep going. Push right. Left. Right. Left. Keep going. Push. Push, push, push. Make sure your knees are moving independently of each other. Back and forth like this. Like this. Not like this. Okay? Push right, left. Right, left. And I'm going to go in. Up. Push those elbows up with your hands in. Job. Squeeze back. Push. Don't push. Keep it simple. Got control. Going push, drop down. Keep your focus on your hands. Keep your elbows up. Good job. All right, let's do some kahiko. Let's keep our warm up going. And aloha. So, kahiko. Point. Let's back and forth here. Those shoulders stable. Keep going, come on. Yeah, let's go. Come on, right side. Right. Booty. Just back and forth. Right. Right. Push it. Come on. Good job. All right, let's do one more. It's just some basics. Follow me.
You want to click? There you go. Okay. Here we go.
One more song.
1, 2. 1, 2.
Come on, hands. Watch your hands, look. Gonna switch the hands. Good, let's see first hands and then one. And switch. Good, so back and forth. Ready? First one. And second one. Good job. And stretch. Up the side for Hula after this. Ready? Hands down. Side. Side. Side for Hula. And left foot. Right, you're hearing me. Left. Hands is open. One. Yeah, we're going to go to Hula number one. Ready? Hula. And two. Now side Hula. And again, same sequence. Hula. All right. Side Hula. Side Hula. Big way. Go. And 2, 3, and Hula. Side. Now flex. Here we go. Side Hula. 2 sequences. 1 and 2. Away. 2, 3, 4 again. Hula. Tempo change. Forward. Side Hula. Again. Ready? Go ahead. 8, go ahead. 1, 4, 2, Hula. Going 0. Side Hula. Again. Go ahead. Right. Again. Hula. Right. 2 steps inside Hula. Your arms out, elbows nice and high, ready to wave. Yes, good job. Nice work, everybody. Yeah, usually we, since this is our intermediate class, we're not going to break stuff down a whole lot. We're just going to go for it. Follow along. There's lots of breakdowns in the beginner class, though. Okay, let's talk about the song we're working on today. All right. And now, Kini, get your water, get your tea, whatever you got. So, this is a really special song. Especially right now, is like, I think that I wanted to do this because it just feels very, I wouldn't say applicable, but because I think that the people we're going to be talking about, we can't know what they were going through, but we can kind of stand in solidarity with them through time, right? And I think for me, one thing that really helps me with, oh good, yay, we're exhausted. Next week we're going to do that, but I want to start adding week to week. So like next week it'll be that, but like more. Anyway, that's coming. But I want to make sure I give a lot of time for our introduction today to Kini. So when I'm stressed out, when I'm feeling like uncertain or I don't know what to do, nobody has everything figured out, right? That's like a total line of bull that we're sold when we're young, is this idea that adults have things like figured out, that we all just at some point know what we're doing. That's not true. Nobody does. We all just like need to do the best we can every day of our lives. That's all you can do. Nobody has everything figured out. It's just like they don't. They're just people who are better at pretending they do. But one thing that can help me when I'm feeling uncertain is kind of studying history and feeling like you can draw on the lessons that our ancestors have learned and the things that they did, the things that they went through, because I think it's kind of embedded in people and human beings to pass on their stories and to try and teach the younger generations the best that we can. So there's a lot of information there that, especially if you're raised in like a Western culture, is not necessarily valued. We're taught to like leave the past in the past, right? We're taught to just like keep forging ahead into the future. But we've talked about this before, it's the kind of Polynesian perspective is flipped, where we want to continue into the future with our eyes on the past, looking into the past while we are continuing into the future, so we can continue with the things that they learned. So I think it's really valuable to look at past moments of strife that might be applicable to things going on now and see what lessons we can draw from them and see what things that we can learn. And so maybe that's why I've been wanting to do Kini. Kini is a really great song that was written by you'll see the lyrics there in that Google Drive. It was written by Ernest Kala at in the time of when people in Hawaii, there was sort of a quote unquote outbreak of what we called leprosy, and these people, they set up a settlement on a peninsula on Molokai for the people who have been diagnosed with leprosy to live. So we're going to talk today about that. We're going to get a little introduction about that, just a very quick thing, go through some of the history and discuss the illness that we're talking about, and also how it kind of started in Hawaii. And then next week, we're going to start talking. Yeah, it is a really sad story, but it's also there's so many lessons in it that we can apply to today. And so it is really sad. And I think that the best thing that we can do to make all that sadness not be in vain is to learn from it so that we can avoid these things from happening in the future. So yeah, let's start with how things progressed, first of all, and then we'll get into what we're actually talking about here. So we're not going to call this leprosy. I was calling it that because that's what most people know it as, but that's become a very, there's so much stigma attached to that word. Leprosy, lepers, people think, oh my gosh, they don't. And it kind of contributes to a fundamental misunderstanding of the disease itself. And so we're now calling it Hansen's disease. Hansen is the guy who originally discovered the bacteria that causes it. And so we can call it Hansen's disease to sort of shirk off that. You could tell people all about this thing and they'll go into it with like an open mind because they don't think there's just so many feelings attached to the word leprosy that really are not fair to the people who have been diagnosed with it and really don't portray an accurate understanding of what it actually is that we're talking about. So let's first talk about, let's talk about Hansen's disease itself. Okay, so Hansen's disease is it's a bacterial infection. And it's a really long-term bacterial infection that can take like a year for your symptoms to even show up. So you don't know how, or like you don't think that your symptoms, you might think that they are part of something else. And that's another problem when you have a disease associated with so much stigma, is that if people see symptoms of it, they don't want to get treatment for it. They don't want to get diagnosed with it because they don't want to be branded as, having this disease, when really that's unfair. And you can avoid a lot of damage if you get treated early, especially nowadays with the medications that we have. So what happens is it causes nerve damage, and with that, in addition to damage to the nervous system, it's also to the respiratory tract, skin, and eyes. Here's the thing that most people don't understand. Only like 5% of the population can even get it. And it's because 95% of the population, your body can easily fight off this bacteria itself. So even if you're exposed to it, you would never have symptoms or know it, or your body would just get rid of it. You'd never even know. So just the fact that only 5% of the population can even get it is like something that a lot of people don't know. They think that you have to be very, very separated from somebody who's been diagnosed with this. Especially nowadays, the infection is curable through a cocktail of medications over the course of either 6 months or 12 months, depending on how bad, how much of a presence the bacteria is in your body, and how severe the classification of your infection is. People who are afflicted with this can still live with their families. They can still work. They can still do all this stuff, because after 72 hours of being on medication, which is basically a cocktail of antibiotics, they're considered non-infectious. So they can go about and just take their full course of meds over the course of 6 months, a year, maybe 2 years, or whatever it is, but you're not infectious. To give you an idea of how many, I think there were like 200 cases reported in the United States last year, but there are some countries like India, Pakistan, the others I can't remember off the top of my head, that had higher rates, but still we're talking about really low numbers. And also, of course, folks that are living in areas stricken by poverty are more vulnerable to it for a lot of the same reasons that they're like more vulnerable to other illnesses, which is they're living in areas with higher population densities. And so they're also vulnerable to other things that can depress the immune system, like malnutrition. Things like that can cause the symptoms, like make it so your body can't fight it off. Still people under 16 can't visit Kalaupapa, is what Ziola says. That's bananas. So that's a primer on Hansen's disease. So we know it's a bacterial infection. We know it's spread mainly through, they think it's mostly spread through respiratory droplets. So you can't get it just by touching somebody. You can't get it you have to actually be exposed to a cough or something like that. And but because of, people really historically, they think of, when the people used to talk about lepers and all that, like in historical, a lot of the symptoms of leprosy or Hansen's disease are actually symptoms of other things that people had. So a lot of times people were kind of they were saying that they had leprosy when they really didn't, and it was something else. And it's because I think too some of the symptoms of it kind of play on people's imaginations. You know what I'm talking about. Especially because what happens for people with severe leprosy or Hansen's disease is that if it impacts your nervous system, what can happen with things like your appendages is that like you lose feeling in your fingers. And then if you get a cut or if you get some wound on your fingers that you can't feel, you don't realize that it's getting infected. And if you don't realize it's getting infected, then you don't get treatment for that. And then what happens to that wound is that you can result in maybe losing an appendage or something like that. That's how a lot of those, removals had to happen, is because they were wounds that were not treated. But it also does cause things like skin lesions, hair loss, all that kind of stuff too. But yeah, that's why a lot of them. So it's a very scary idea. The idea of the disease is very scary, but again, it only can even affect 5% of the population. And nowadays it's entirely curable, and the medications that you need to be cured of Hansen's disease are available for free through the WHO. So that's really good. It's like that this should not be a barrier for somebody to. The biggest barrier to people being treated for this is stigma. It's because they don't want to come forward and be branded as having this disease that people think, associate with things like dirtiness and sin or things like that, and so they don't want to tell anybody about it, which is really a bummer. Okay, so let's talk about its history in Hawaii. No one knows exactly when it arrived there, but it could possibly be as early as like 1823. There's one reputable doctor from the time. He says that he thinks he was seeing, he's sure he was seeing cases by like 1830. So the first Board of Health had been convened in 1850, which was in reaction to, we were having a lot of different outbreaks of illnesses through those years, especially. And so we started our first Board of Health in 1850. And at the time, and then later in 1863, a doctor from the Queen's Hospital in Honolulu wrote to the board and was like, hey guys, there's this new thing called leprosy and we're seeing outbreaks of it and you guys need to do something about this. And so he was urging, measures be taken to like control it. So in 1864, that same doctor went to the Board of Health and talked to them and said, the only way to like prevent a huge outbreak of this was just to isolate everybody who had it. And also at the time, it was thought of as like, it was considered like a lifelong thing. So they were like, once you have it, you have it. So we need to just put all the isolated people, on these colonies. And again, you understand the fear that's driving these because they look at this, it looks scary, and they're thinking, well, like we're these tiny island nations. We've already seen what illness has done. It's already literally decimated our population. So we can't allow this thing to kind of take over. Instead of actually taking a little more time to really look and see how infectious is it and what are the realities before you're, casting additional hardship, and oppression on people. So in 1865, they passed an act to prevent the spread of leprosy, and the act it set aside land so that they could send people to live there, or it planned to set aside land. It required doctors to report suspected cases. It required police to arrest people with suspected cases so they could be checked out for potential diagnosis. And it governed like the expenses associated with it, how they were going to track all that stuff, all those kinds of things. So the first place they looked was like this land that was purchased. They actually purchased land in Palolo Valley on Oahu for a settlement, but it was never ended up being used because the people who lived around there protested. There were these NIMBY people, not in my backyard type people. And we see them again all over, especially, when I was living in Los Angeles. But these people are everywhere, where it's sort of like we recognize that something needs to be done, but we don't want it anywhere near us. And, it's just, that's not a very, it's not a very ethical way to live in community. You have to be realistic about what, these things have to go somewhere, if they're going to put them somewhere. Anyway, So because these people were like, they're going to contaminate the water with leprosy, and, and then what happens? So they found this, they started looking at this peninsula on Molokai. And if you look at the map of Molokai, you'll see, if you're not familiar with Kalaupapa and where it is, you'll see it looks like a shark fin on the top of Molokai. And the thing about this is that it like it's on top of Molokai. Here's the rest of the island down here. And all this right here is cliffs. It's huge, like 2,000-foot cliffs just shooting straight up and totally blocking this peninsula off from the rest of the island. And there's only really 2 access points. On the east side, on the west side of it, you have Kalaupapa. And then on the east side, you have Kalawao. Kalawau's on the east side. And those are the 2 access points by boat. But it had, it was pretty flat. They were like, oh, look, they can grow food here pretty easily. There's a freshwater stream coming through. We've got access points for boats, so we can send them supplies. Like, this is a great place. And also, like, these cliffs provide this barrier to the rest of the island that cuts people off. So that's where they decided to put this settlement. So I want to leave it there for today. Next week, we're going to get into the process of getting people there and some of the history, and also some of these key figures, which are incredibly inspiring. Some heroic things and a lot of dramatic, elements in this, a lot of sadness, but there's a lot that we can learn. One thing that this helps to remind me personally, just in what we've talked about today, is to hold back. I think whenever you have an initial reaction to something, it's important to recognize that as an adult, and as you get older, recognize that initial reaction, because you're always going to have an initial reaction to everything, like a specific judgment of a situation, and before you act, to move through that judgment until you get more information. So you don't want to base your actions on your initial reaction of a certain scenario, because you probably don't have all the information. And it's important to there's so much value that we don't talk about today in just holding back and researching a little bit more, listening to people who are, who actually have real credentials in like a specific field or whatever. I mean, this is very applicable to like social media things. Like, we see like a meme and we go, oh my gosh, this looks terrifying. I'm going to share it and tell people about it. It's like, hold on, give it a second. Figure out where this is coming from. Where's this information coming from? Is it actually accurate? Who did this? Like, who created this? There's so much misinformation going around, and it really comes to it comes to us to be able to fight that misinformation. So that's one thing that I've learned that I'm reminded of and it's something you can practice, where you meet something and where you're uncomfortable with the scenario. And if you just wait and get to know somebody or get to know a situation, you might feel more comfortable with it. That's really important. And there's a lot of strength in that, right? Yeah, so that's one thing that I can be reminded of today. And also just when you think about Hansen's disease, or you hear people talking about it, or you see it written about in history, and you see these misconceptions about it, you can correct people, or you can do your part to help remove stigma on this little corner of the earth, by spreading what actually is accurate information, which is that it's fully treatable. It's really not a risk to the vast majority of people, and that it is you're not infectious after a few days of medicine. And the important thing is to be upfront about it, to recognize if there are symptoms of something, and to be upfront with it so that you can get treatment before any actual long-term damage happens to your body. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm not a doctor, by the way. That's probably important to mention, as if it's not obvious. So I'm not giving any medical advice. I'm just saying be nice to people. That's all I'm asking. Okay. All right, so let's get to our song, which is like an anthem for the people of Kalaupapa, and that we can all, that we I hope will inspire all of us to like band together and not be afraid to pull together and be united and demand rights for people, demand that people be treated how they deserve to be treated, and the power of what happens when we all really stand together. Yes, be nice, wash your hands, wear a mask, all those things. I totally agree. All right, so here's our song in Kini. So we're going to go over through our first verse today, and I want you to learn this song so you can sing it. Please put it on and let it play while you're washing your dishes or driving your kids to school. Oh, wait, no, people don't drive their kids to school. I don't know. Play it while you're doing stuff, gardening, making your sourdough starter, and sing this song, get to know it so that you can sing it while you're dancing it. So this first, let's look at the lyrics, and we have this first verse. E na kini o ka ʻaina e ala maia e ala pū. E na mamo o Hawaii ne e ala maia e ala pū. I mua e nā poki'i a inu I ka wai awa awa. A e mau kalanakila e na kini o ka ʻaina. So that in those parentheses, that's your part. That's why you gotta sing it. You can sing it out. All right. So in our Kini, we're saying Kini is like it's like groups of things. So what we're saying is an e is a marker. When we're saying e something, we're making it a command. So e na kini, we're saying hey to like the multitudes, to all the people, to all the different groups of people. All you people o ka ʻaina of the land. E na kini o ka ʻaina e ala mai. Stand up, rise up, right? Ala mai, a ela pu. And then we say e na mamo o Hawaii ne. Na mamo are the different descendants, the different lines of Hawaii. Stand up, rise up, right? Imua na poki'i. We're saying imua. We know what imua means, right? Imua means move forward. Again, e with that command. Imua e na poki'i. Poki'i are the younger generations. They're like the keiki, or people that are younger than ourselves. Ainui ka wai awa awa, and drink this bitter water, right? And I mau ka lanakila. Lanakila is victory, or like a champion, and mau is something that like continues on and on, right? It says, translated as the victory lives always. E na kini o ka ʻaina, again, going back to the people, the multitudes of the land. And na mamo o Hawaii ne, these lineages, these descendants of Hawaii. E ala mai, again, we're saying stand up, rise up. Okay, let's dance, shall we? Okay, so we first have this little, let's skip this beginning part first, because I want to get into we'll do it next week, but I want to get into the verse itself. So our class isn't like 3 hours long. All right, so we're going to start with, we say, e na kini o ka ʻaina e ala maia e ala pu. We're going to do 2 ki'i vai vai. So we're going to go first to the right and then to the left. So again, as always, your ki'i vai vai is this. You're going to point side, you point front, bring your foot back, drop down, and uwehe. And then we're going to go other side, side, front, down, uwehe. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, uwehe. 1, 2, 3, uwehe. Okay, hands are going to go here. 1, 2, 3, uwehe. 1, 2, 3, uwehe. So your hands are following your feet. So you're going right out to the side, front, bring it in, uwehe, left, front, in, uwehe, and then your hands are going to come down, point your right foot, and hands come here into a V, and my hands are in fists, like this. Hey, alamai. Right? Don't go too far out like cheerleaders. We're just a little bit wider than our shoulders. Okay? So again, 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's a little faster than that. But let's add the next thing. So after our ki'i vai vai, we're going to do a lele uehe to the right and then a lele uehe to the left. Okay, so your lele uehe, you're going to step to the side, to the right, point in uehe, now left, point in uehe, and then same thing as before, you're going to point that right foot. Okay? Now for this hand motion, now mamo Hawaiʻine, we're doing like, hands are going to come, you're going to put your right hand and your left hand are going to come up to this corner. Here, 1, 2, 3. Open this hand. See how my hand is open here? And then I'm going to cross over the other side. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Again, 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, uehe. 1, 2, 3, uehe. All right, ready? Let's put that together with our lele uehe. Okay, ready? Here we go. And 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, uehe. 1, 2, 3, uehe. And then again, same thing. Hands go up, right foot is out. All right, let's try that sequence together. Ready? 5, 6, 7, or we're going to start with the ki'i vai vai. So ready? 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, uehe. 1, 2, 3, uehe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, lele uehe, go. 1, 2, 3, uehe. 1, 2, 3, uehe. Out. Hold on. Why did that feel weird? I know why it felt weird. Because I know why it feels weird. Because the hands need to go up to the left, not to the right. This way. So you're going here in. That's going to help with the momentum of your body. Sorry. Let's try that again. Ready? Starting with your lele uehe. 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, uehe. 1, 2, 3, uehe. All right, let's start with that ki'i vai vai again. Ready? 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, 3, uehe. 1, 2, 3, uehe. Point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, lele uehe. 1, 2, 3, uehe. 1, 2, 3, uehe. Point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes? Let's try with music, okay? Yeah, let's try with music. And then we'll add on. Kini o ʻaina e mai. Here we go. And so we've got this intro part. This is what we're not going to worry about right now. And here we go. And let it away. I know it's fast. I know it's fast. Let's do it again. Let's add that. Bump, bump. So he does this chant in the beginning, and then you hear that dun, dun. We're just here. We're going to go, we're clapping, fists apart. Bump, bump. And then we go straight into it. Kini o ʻaina e alamaya e alapu. Yeah? We all look funny. It's okay. Let's all look funny together. And go. Go. Don't start it now. Yeah? Okay, let's add. Now we say Aimua na poki'i. Again, imua, we're going forward, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to step, we're going to lele. So step, walk, step right, left, and then we're going to uehe, right, left. Okay? So again, oops, sorry. My li'i back here. Ready? And we step right, left, right, left. Now you're walking, so you better drop on that uehe. You better do it. Ready? So let's add the hands here. We're saying aimua, so hands are going to come here for your right side. Right hand is out, left hand is right angle. Make sure your elbow's nice and high and in line with your shoulder. Here, here, and then you're going to go down and down. So it's like little kids, like their head. Aw. Okay? So you're here on your lele, lele, uehe, uehe. And let's go fingertips straight forward for this. And let's turn the fingertips out a little bit for this. Okay? Ready? Here we go. 5, 6, 7, go. Right, left, uehe, uehe. Okay? Don't pull your elbow back like this. We don't want to go like that, like that. We want to go here, here. We want to be very specific and strong with this. Okay? So, again, we go 5, 6, 7, go. Right, left, uehe, uehe. Then we're going to go uehe, and then we're going to kaholo, right and left. Ainui kawai ava ava. We're going to go, we're drinking the water here, like this, to our mouth, and then flip out, like that. So this is on your kaholo. We go to the right, we drink here and out here. Okay? Let's add that. Let's do our lele, uehe, kaholo. And 5, 6, 7, go. 1, 2, uehe, 3, 4, kaholo, up and out. Aimua e na poki'i, ainui kawai ava ava. Here you go. Yeah, it's fast. Sorry. Blame Kalani Pe'a. Okay. All right, ready? Let's do that sequence again. 5, 6, 7, go. Right, left, uehe, uehe, kaholo, and out. Yeah? All right, let's add that on. Start with your ki bye bye. Let it uehe into that. Okay, ready? And 5, 6. It's better if I'll sing it because the counting thing is not really working. And we go. Dun dun e na kini o ʻaina e alamaya e alapu e na mamo Hawaii nei e alamaya e alapu a imua e na poki'i ainui kawai ava ava. Yeah? I mau kalana kila e. Let's add this onto it. And then we'll almost be done. Whew. We're going to turn to the right. We're going to turn to the right, and what's happening here is my hands are going like this. So into this. My right hand stays out where it is. my left hand comes in. And what I'm doing is I'm just turning to the side and down like this. So up, and I just go down, and then I'm going to go here like that. Okay, so I just finished here. Ainui kawai ava ava. And I go down. I mo kalanakila e. So what's happening here is my hands are like this, and they're going like that. And open, facing down. Fists open. So I'm here, open. Yeah? If that makes sense. All right, so let's go back to Ainui kawai ava ava. Ainui kawai ava ava. Ai mau kalani kila e. Yeah. Okay, ready? So let's go back to a kaholo. And up, right, left, right, out, left, right, left, turn to the side, and up. And then we're going to repeat what we did in the beginning of this verse. So it goes, Aimua ena po ki'i, ainui kawai ava ava, ae mau kalanakila e. Wait, ae mau kalanakila e. No, Lincoln. He's about to jump in here. There you go. Go lay on your bed. Okay. We're here. Ae mau kalanakila e. And then we're going to go back straight into it, into our ki'i vai vai. E na kini o ʻaina, and then straight into the lele wehe. E na mamo Hawaiʻine. E ala mai ya e ala pu. Okay, is your head exploding? I hope not. Okay, let's go back to slowly. Let's go back to Aimua e nā po ki'i. Ready? We go. Aimua e nā po ki'i. Ainui kawai ava ava. Ae mo kalanakila e. E na kini o ʻaina e. Na mamo Hawaiʻine e ala mai ya e ala pu. Yeah? Let's walk it again nice and slow. Ready? Back to Aimua e nā po ki'i. Ready? We go. Aimua e nā po ki'i. Ainui kawai ava ava. Ae mo. No, wait. It's not like this to get into that. It's just we're here and then out, and I just go ae mo kalanakila e. Okay, so let's do that again from Aimua e nā po ki'i. I love how I have my little audience there in the front. Very, very cute. He's the star of the show, every show. Okay, ready? You ready, Lincoln? Here we go. And Aimua e nā po ki'i. Ainui kawai ava ava. Ae mo kalanakila e. E na kini o ʻaina e. Na mamo Hawaiʻine e ala mai e ala pu. Yeah? Oh, I'm getting out of breath. Okay, let's do music.
Ena kini e onia pa. Ena wahi e onia pa. Ena mokupuni e onia pa. Ena kini o ʻaina e ala mai. Ena mama Hawaiʻine e ala mai. Aimua e nā po ki'i. Ainui kawai ava ava. Ae mo kalanakila he. E na kini o ʻaina na mamo o Hawaii e alamai I kalave alimo
stepping back on the second turn. On the which turn on this? I'm guessing it's definitely yeah. So that's a good note to mark. So for that spot, if I have what the spot that you're talking about with the second turn, your foot is your left foot is doing all the work. You're pivoting on the right foot. So you'll leave your right foot on the ground and your left foot is stepping around and back. So probably the easiest way, if your weight isn't in that right foot right there, then your right foot is going to want to move and it shouldn't. So let me make sure, let's mark how we're getting the weight into that right foot. I guess it's just because we finished this here and we're stepping right and then left. That's what it is. Step right, step left. So we finished this kaholo, left, right, left, step right. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, that's a weird spot. Sorry. Everyone's like, what are you doing? You don't step that way. It's 2 right steps. So just throw out everything I said in like the last 3 minutes. I'm sorry. We're stepping back on the right foot and then up on the right foot. So step back, 2 right steps. Sorry, guys. Sorry, folks. Back on the right foot, forward on the right foot. Okay? So let's go back to ʻaimua ena poki'i ainui kawai ava mau kalanakila e na kini o ʻaina e na mamo o Hawaii e alamai. So let's go back to ʻaimua. Ready? We go. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to fix your confusion and I tell you what you're doing is right when it's wrong. And I teach that. Sorry. Yeah. So right foot. Step right back, step right forward. Okay. So let's go back to ʻaimua. Ready? We go ʻaimua ena poki'i ainui kawai ava ae mau kalanakila e na kini o ʻaina e na mamo o Hawaii e alamai ha e alapu. Okay? This one's fast. I think I always, since fast might be a little more challenging, I think I always remember, I always think things are easier than they are because I taught these songs to my little keiki and they did it. What I just have to remember is how amazing my keiki were or are.
Elekia e oniapa, ena kini e oniapa, ena wahi e oniapa, ena mokupuni e oniapa, ena kini o ʻaina e alamai, ena mamo Hawaii e alamai. ʻaimua ena poki'i ainui kawai ava ʻaina kalanakila e na kini o ʻaina e na mamo
Okay, ready? Let's do it again. Let's do it again, and then we'll talk about some pitfalls.
Ena kini o ka ʻaina e ʻalama. Ena mama Hawaii nehi e ʻalama. Ai mua e nā poki hai nui ka wai awa awa. A e ma kalana kila he e na kini o ka ʻaina e na mamo o Hawaii nehi e ʻalama.
Yeah, it's fast. It's fast. Okay, couple things to keep in mind for this. I mean, once you get the like ki'i vaiwai going into the lele uehe in your muscle memory, it's going to be a lot easier. But the thing about this is what we want to think about while we're dancing is really strong, specific movements. So we really want to know what our marks are, and we want to hit them while we're still riding that balance of hitting the marks without smacking the air around us. Because what can sometimes happen if we're like, oh, this is going to be a really strong hula, I want to dance really, really strong and specifically and very controlled, is that we start to go kind of like, here, 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 here. See, I'm exaggerating, but I'm hitting the air like that, as opposed to hit, 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 that, like nice and clean, straight across motion, like that. That's where we want that I always like to say, channel your enthusiasm into specificity. So we're not going smack, 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 like that. And then the other thing is you want to feel comfortable with pausing and with, for instance, like this here. Some people feel very uncomfortable with those motions, and it's because they feel like they need to constantly be sort of like moving or like, you know, very flowy and slow. I like to always more doing slower hulas, like push through the beat, sit on the back of the beat, those kinds of things with like slower, more like flowy ʻauana. Those are things I'm always talking about. And so kind of just sitting here for a second and being like, what's up? Like that's, you know, not very, people feel like they need to be doing something. And it's just like, there's so much power in like hitting it all together and holding it, and then up and over and holding that, and then going straight into this. So yeah. Good. Oh, good. Yeah. Yes. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, we don't often get those pauses, especially on these faster songs. Our brains are going a mile a minute, so we're having to like go, go, go. So those things, strong and controlled. That's one. Okay. Strong and controlled. Be comfortable with the pauses where you have them. Okay. Hold them strong and steady and still. And then there was going to be a third one. What was it? I remember what was the third one? Anyway, I'll think of it. But yeah, make sure for now you're keeping those two things. There's a third one I thought of. And I was like, anyway, let's run it again. Here we go. Oh, I remembered what the third one was, but let's run it first.
Elekia e oniapa, ena kini e oniapa, ena wahi e oniapa, ena mokupuni e oniapa, ena kini o ka ʻaina e alama, ena mama Hawaii nehi e alama. kawai awa awa ʻaina kalana kilahe e na kini o ka ʻaina e na mamo o Hawaii e alamai I kalave I kapono. Okay. The third thing that I wanted to say is I want you to challenge yourself to examine the paths that your hands and your arms are taking. This song is really vulnerable to what I call scenic routes, which are instead of going here, 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 we go here, 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 here. Okay? So I want you to challenge yourself, know what paths you're, not just where your hands need to be, but how are they getting there? That's so important. And it really kind of can level you up as a dancer when you are being really specific about those. And I don't mean stiff. I don't mean like, here, it's really about being specific here. See how that's all like shoulder level? Same with here. See how I'm going up diagonally, bringing it here to this, again, this same position, and then down to make that straight diagonal line. And then same thing across, you know, as opposed to kind of your elbow falling wherever it's going to go. You're being very specific that it lands here and down. Those are the things that build a clean dance. Those are the things that are going to build that specificity to kind of make you look stronger, okay? So those are the things. Strong, we're dancing really strong. We are, second one was being comfortable with these strong pauses. And third thing is defining, being very specific about the paths that your hands and your arms are traveling. Okay, let's just do it one more time. I know I'm getting, are you supposed to smile in this dance? Yes, I say smile, yes, because I think part of this is what you're doing is you're trying to unite people together. You're trying to inspire them. You're trying to show that we are all in this together, that we are capable of great things. If we stick together and we demand what we need, we demand what's owed to us, those are the things that, you know, we can put that like determined, encouraging look on our face. And I think there's a lot of joy in those messages. So I say, yeah, smile. Give it that like, yes, like pride in yourself, you know, because you can't do what they're asking people to do in this song without having that pride and that dignity. Oh my gosh, my dog is bringing toys over to the gate and dropping them in front of the gate because he wants attention. It's very cute. All right. So yeah, I say like smile, but it's not like it's, you know, there's different types of smiles. Like, hey, it's like a sassy smile, or like in some it's like a, oh, beautiful, oh, la'iai kawai. In this, it's like a, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it. We can do it, you know? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Jump up and dance it. And sing it. Sing it loud. Okay. Let's do it one more time. Yes, Kalani Pea is overflowing with joy. That's exactly right. Watch the music video for this, and you'll see these great Kane dancers, and they look, you can be really inspired by the way they're dancing. They're so strong, and they're so specific, and it's really but that's one thing I really love about Kalani Pea, watching him perform, not just in his music videos, but when you watch him singing live, he is so expressive, and he really brings that joy and that emotion into whatever song that he's singing. And so it's really inspiring when you watch his stuff. Okay, let's do it one more time all together, okay? And then you can go back and practice with this video once it's posted. Kini ena wahi e ʻoniapa, ena mokupuni e ʻoniapa. Ena kini o ka ʻaina e alamai, ena mama Hawaii ne kawai ava ava ʻaina kalana kilahe e na kini o ʻaina e na mamo o Hawaii e alamai I kalave
Yes. Okay. All right. Good job, everybody. Look up this music video. It's fabulous. There's also some really great clips of him singing it live, which are really fun. And yeah, go back. You can use this video to keep practicing this song. We'll go into the chorus next week, and we'll talk more about Kalaupapa and some of the people that lived there. And yeah, great job today. Yeah, my students just recorded, some other students recorded a video yesterday, footage for a video that I'm going to edit together and put out, which is them dancing to Hele Aloha no Hilo, which is another Kalani Pe'a song, doing an implement hula to it. And so I'm excited to show you guys that when it's ready to go. It looks so beautiful. I'm so proud of them. And also I will post the information about Manu Boyd's workshops this weekend. Again, it's a 2-day workshop, 3 hours a day, Saturday and Sunday, or Sunday, Monday if you're in New Zealand. And yeah, I guess that's everything. So next week, yeah, expect a workout and expect us to run this a lot more and be talking a lot less. I know I always say that, famous last words. Oh well, we'll see. All right, thank you everybody. Mahalo nui for joining me today. Great job, great questions as always. And check us out on Facebook. And yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. All right, I'll see you in a couple days for more La'iei Kawai, and we'll continue ʻaina Kini next week. All right, mahalo, ahuiho.